Welcome back to another video, a little bit of a different video. It's International Week. So let's get straight into what I want to talk about. My guys, Jude Bellingham, and I'll hit on Vinicius a little bit too, but the media, man, the media, these guys, man, they just love our to talk about our players. Who else is gonna sell them views? Who else is gonna sell them their things? If it's not Real Madrid. They've been talking so much about our guys, right? The most recent one and probably the biggest one right now is Jude Bellingham. English media is attacking this man for anything, any expression, any body language. They're body language experts now. All these media are body language experts. They know everything about how a person's eyes, a person's hands. Everything. They know everything. Media knows everything, and they reacted to Jude Bellingham coming off. He made he made an expression, walked out. He said he high fived his player Rogers, the player that was coming in, and they're making this such a big deal. And I want to give a big applause to Ian Wright, man. Let's give a big applause to Ian Wright, right? Because this guy, he's one of those players who's one of those people that isn't scared to talk against the media. He isn't scared to share his opinion, and he backed up Jude Bellingham. He said something in the lines of, "They have nothing else to do than to attack our player. They have nothing else to do than to attack the player that doesn't play in England because he doesn't play in England." And who else is going to get them the biggest headlines if it's not for Jude Bellingham for England? And look, Ian Wright is one of those people who every time he talks, I respect what he says because has a lot of insight on some of the best players, some of the best managers, and Ian Wright. When he said this, it came to mind. Like I hadn't really thought about it, right? Because I don't really pay attention much to English media unless it's some about some of our players or something like that. But the way he said it, I think it was perfect. Jude Bellingham is one of, if not the best English player for England right now, or just an English player in general right now, and he's not playing in England. So what else? Who is going to sell? He has a good PR with us. He's a very good player. We talk very good about him. We give him so much praise at Real Madrid. And English media just loves to attack. Every time there's something, oh, his behavior, his this, that. And it's just annoying to hear because Jude Bellingham is known to be one of like a captain of. Harry Kane said Jude Bellingham is one of the five captains for the England squad. And when you see the players talk like this good about him, we see Madrid fans talk good about him. You see everyone talk good about him, but English media just loves to get their headlines. They just love to get their things. So I want to give a big shout out to Ian Wright because he backed Jude Bellingham. And it's not even just because he's a Real Madrid player. He backed him as a player. Ian Wright knows English media, right? He's been there, done that, and I think the way he said it was perfectly said. And look, here's the thing, right? It's Real Madrid players. This is the thing that comes with being a Real Madrid player: the media attention, the criticism, the this, the that, everything. You're at Real Madrid, the biggest club in the world. You're gonna get a lot of people talking. You're gonna get a lot of people saying things. And I think Jude Bellingham is a perfect player to take it. I believe he could take it, and but I don't like the English media. The things they push, the narratives, the things they do. They try to. It's like they try to break their own England squad. If it was someone else, it would be like, oh, like Jude Bellingham. That's a beautiful problem for Thomas Tuchel because he has all these amazing players. He gets to choose when and where, and he gets to decide what to do, and it's a beautiful problem. But no, English media is, oh, look at he's ruining the team. Jude Bellingham because he has behavioral problems. He's this, he's that, and man, seeing this from outside in, it's just one of those things where it's like you guys don't know what you guys talk about. You guys chose the Real Madrid player for your headlines, and it makes sense. It makes sense. You need Real Madrid players. You need the Real Madrid players for your headlines, right? And it makes sense, right? No one else gets this sort of attention, that has been like one of their like I rate this player a lot, right? But one of their like beautiful stars is Phil Foden, coming out Man City Academy, playing for Man City, winning what he won, PFA player what he won, has a terrible Euros, but they don't say anything. He's good. He should be starting. We should build a team around him, this and that. He has a bad game, bad tournaments, and no one says anything, right? Saka has a bad tournament, misses a penalty, media attention. Phil Foden, No media attention. We should build a team around him, And it's just one of those things where we pick and choose for the headlines. And Jude Bellingham, I think it's going to be hard for England to win it before without Jude Bellingham. Win the World Cup without Jude Bellingham. And look, I love Cole Palmer. I think he's a very good player, but we don't talk when he's doing bad. We don't really talk about it. He went like 6 months without scoring an open play goal for Chelsea. He won a couple trophies last season, but let's be honest, it was the Club World Cup. It was the conference league. Like, he is a very good player. Don't get me wrong. He did score in the final, but who assisted him for that goal? Who perfectly gave him a perfect pass and set it up for Cole Palmer and Jude Bellingham. And I think Jude Bellingham and Cole Palmer could play together. I think Saka could play around there. I think Jude Bellingham fits the English 10 profile because loves dropping deep, coming to those areas, making Rashford run, making the Saka run, like that song connection with the wide wingers. Harry Kane is going to drop deeper. And I think Jude Bellingham is a perfect player to play that 10 role because he could come in from the back. He knows how to play this role. He knows how to play the false nine role. And I think Jude Bellingham gets the best out of those attacking players, because Harry Kane loves to drop deep and Jude Bellingham loves to make those runs inside into the box. So I think Jude Bellingham fits this team perfectly. I think he fits the role perfectly. He's physical. He's defensively amazing. He made a tackle against Albania, where the guy cut in like once or twice, and Jude Bellingham read it, slide tackled, got the ball back. He will run his life out for the team, and he will. He has an amazing assist. The Mbappe versus Barcelona. That assist was amazing, taking Pedri behind the defenders and then perfect pass to Mbappe. He has an assist for Vinny against Dortmund in the Champions League final. He has an assist to Cole Palmer. He has a bicycle kick goal. Jude Bellingham is all around. When you talk to some of the English fans that don't see him week in week out, they say, "Oh, he's a physical specimen," but technically, he is so good as well. On the ball, on the eye, he's very good. But these English fans just see him as physical. All English fans see is physical presence, physical this, fast, strong. That's all they see. They don't see the technicals of every week in, week out. And even in the big games, he's always there. And it's just one of those things. I think Jude Bellingham is like the perfect 10 role for this England because Harry Kane loves to drop deep, and Jude Bellingham loves to make those runs inside, between the defenders. He likes being coming from outside the box, and I think Rashford, Saka, Kane, and Jude Bellingham are a good mixture because, like I said, Harry Kane loves to move around, drop deep a little bit, make those through passes to the Rashford, to the wings, to Rashford, to Saka. That's what he likes to do, and that's what his game is developing more. That right now that his speed is going down, slowing down a little bit, right? And Jude Bellingham is the perfect one. He could do through passes. He could run into the box. He knows how to find those areas. They say he finds those like easy goals. Well, he finds them. He's not like they just he gets put there and they just fall to him. He finds the spaces. He finds the runs, and Jude Bellingham would fit perfectly in that 10. I like Cole Palmer as well. But yeah, I think English media, man. English media. I want to talk about Vinicius and the media attacking him a little bit. Everything he does is on the media. Everything he does, his girlfriend, his runs, his outside attention, his Brazil. He played an amazing game for Brazil, but he didn't get a goal and assist. So media's on him, and that's Spanish media. But Madrid players know this. Madrid fans know this. But we have to back our players. We have to back our players because me, English media is talking about bad about us. Spanish media is against us. Media in general is always going to be talking about badly in a negative tone against Real Madrid. Media is always going to talk bad about us. So we have to back our players, even though they're in tough moments and bad. We will back our players, and I think we have to back our players because the media, the thing, this reminds me of that Ronaldo season where everyone was against us. Literally, the El Chiringuito was against us. They were talking so much about us, saying Ronaldo's washed, saying Ronaldo this. And what did we do at the end of the season? Ronaldo won the Champions League, one of the Champions League. He was singing that one song they had done. And I think this is one of the moments where we have to stick with our players. No matter how bad we play in big games, no matter how the game against City goes in a couple of weeks, no matter how things to look right. We need to back our players. We need to be right next to our players because the media is against us right now. The media loves to talk about us, whether it's Jude Bellingham, Mbappe, Vinny, all these players. They get talked about by their own media. You know, Spanish media, English media, and all these medias love to talk about us in a negative way. So we need to stick with our players. We need to stick to our to whatever things we have. We need to stay strong with our players. And we need to back our people, man. Really need to back our players. I really have a really good idea of how things could work for us. You know, I think it will work for us. I have very good faith. You know, some things I think will add up in my head, and I will probably make a video about the technical ways of how it will work, but it will work, and we got to stick with our players because English media, Spanish media, all these medias are talking negative about this, so we need to stick with it. And to those medias, we will shut you guys up. Keep talking, and yeah, this was a different video, but I had to talk about it. This is getting out of hand, but it is Real Madrid. We're the biggest club in the world. Um, English media wishes they had some of the players we have. Spanish media wants to down us, and we will show them. We will. We're Real Madrid. We will show them. Our players will show them. We will. Peace.